see it, okay? What we'll actually do for this one is we'll actually get slowly, you can see all 4 coins, okay? We're going to get one of the coins to slowly come across, just like that. That's the first one. And I like to be just very, very fair, and so you can see everything the whole way through. So I'll arrange the coins very, very neatly so you can see all 3 of them right there. 1 and 3. Check this out, believe it or not, okay? And just like that. That's the second one go across. Okay, so let's take it even further, okay? And what's cool about this is if I just cover the coins like so, believe it or not, you can actually see it happen. And just like that, okay? And believe it or not, I just give another little wave, little wave. You can actually get the coins to go across, just like that. Pretty crazy, I know. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. And now So in phase 4, which I call phase rush, we're going to actually do a sponge ball type gesture to get the setup going. And it's going to lead up to the final setup for the full explosion. Now in this case, they've done the explosion, boosh, and they see all the 4 coins go. They are amazed. Let's say you're just doing this routine solo, then you would just start with you would only need, for this routine, 1 shell for phase rush. Okay, but in my case of explosion, we're actually going to be shelling 2 of them. But Dan, how do we get that without the audience noticing? And you mentioned the setup is in the back pockets, right? Yeah, we're going to cover that, don't worry. So we got this, boom, they exploded. Everyone's amazed, and at this point, you never really let the audience examine it too much. So this is a good point where you can, or maybe you loosely let them did, you can let someone else examine them. Again, make sure they're not trap doors, or, you know, you gesture to someone else and you let them examine it, and they're doing that, okay? However you go about it, at this point you are going to step back and just be casual, and during this time you would go into your back pockets and steal 1 shell from each back pocket, okay? If you want to use jacket pockets, you could, but just for the sake of argument, we're going to use back pockets. And it's just the usual thing. I'm just stepping back, letting the audience enjoy it, examine everything. The heat's off me, and I just steal it out. You would do this in sponge ball routines, and if it's worked for sponge ball routines and cups and balls and gazo, that could probably work for you. Just practice. It's just practice and audience management, timing, and maybe a little bit of ruses and misdirection. Whatever is your fancy. Okay, so we've gone in our back pockets while we're all chilling. Okay, we've stolen out a coin. Okay, or a shell, and they're in each hand. And when we get the coins back, how we go about it, you can get them back 1 at a time, or maybe 2. There's so many ways you can go about it. You can actually just show these coins, and then as you're casually talking to spectators, you can slide them in their shells, and then set them down, and you're good. That's one way you can go about it. Another way is you get all the coins, you set them on the table, you're casually making comments to spectators, just relaxing. You can then shell them, or you can, there's so many ways you can go about this. You can just do into like a purse palm and double shell the coins if you're not worried about sound too much, okay? There is another reasoning you can do, or additional reasoning, one that I use, is that as you're going for it, we're finished phase 3, all the coins have maybe popped in a corner, you just want to do as unique phase, whichever. And you want a reason just to go in your back pockets. Usually I stop there. At the end of it, I do 2 matrix phases, maybe a big closer, boom, and I usually stop there, and I usually just pack it in and call it a day. And as you seemingly do the gesture where you're just relaxing, your hands are just in your pockets, you're just not wanting to do anything, be associated with that, you're standing back. You're allowing a natural gesture, but in the same way, you're also using that to take advantage of the coins. And you go, but if I really was to, and you're really asking for the next phase, then maybe we can do, and then you can load up 2 shells, and then you can go right into the routine, which is really nice, need be. So that's how you get 2 shells into there. there is dropping the coins on the table into heel clip and then dragging them back into the palms where you can reshell. There are many ways to be able to shell the coins and make it work, as Dean Dill has shown in many of his work. Check out Dean Dill's DVDs. Not a promotion or anything, but he's a great guy. And he's a legend, okay? I madly respect the guy. In any case, you can get 2 shells on it. If you are just doing this routine solo, again, you can just start with 4 coins and a shell to start and you're good. But I wanted a routine that can be able to work with 2 shells. Whether or not I need to use them was irrelevant, but so that I can set up for the big explosion at phase 5. So I get the coins however they do, I get them shelled. And in this case, I'm going to work with 2 shells, even though the second shell is never used. So you can just imagine it's just working with 1, okay? So going into the phasing, we've loaded up 2 of the coins. So I should also mention as we load them up, how we go about it. We show coins, ooh, ooh, and now your hands are clean and 2 shells are on. I should also take this moment to mention that some of these phasing, even though I do have some now original ideas on it, it is based on a matrix routine my mentor had loosely covered for me, and I had adapted to my own. So I don't know how it came to be, because I've been doing searches and I haven't found anything unique. This is pretty unique. And I should also note the positioning. Danny, it's not working. Something's off. Okay, the coins have to be in position with the, and I'll make sure this starts with it. The positioning is first coin has a shell on top of it. Okay, closest towards me. Second coin, nothing. Third coin, nothing. Fourth coin has a shell on it. Okay, any other way that the coin will not go on top of another shell coin, if you're wondering why it's not working. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure this part goes first in describing the situation. So it's shell coin, no shell, no shell, shell. If you're doing it for the whole explosion effect. If you're not, and you're just doing it regularly, then all you need, then forget this. Don't worry, it's safe. But you just make sure that the just the front shell is right here. If you're just doing it as like just a regular normal version. I just want to do this one trick. Okay, just 1 shell and you're good. Okay, ooh, we've got the second shell right there. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. So we start out with, actually I can source this one. It's the first phases of the translocation by John Kennedy, which was also popularized by Dean Dill. You'll notice a theme here in referencing. And so we generally have the coins, and what we're going to be doing is getting the coins into position of the recessive hand, your non-dominant hand. But in the nature of doing so, we are going to use mainly as we're adapting this, and we're going to be stealing coin, we're going to be stealing with our dominant hand. Okay, we're going to be using the purse palm in this case, first finger and ring finger. This is why you want coins that are adapted to your hand size. So if you have really huge hands, maybe consider dollar coins. But in this case, clip. Okay, we clip it in purse palm, and then we come set it forward. Okay, so like this. So let's imagine all the other coins are aside. Let's just focus on this for a second. Purse palm, what is it? Okay, first finger contacts the edge right here. Ooh, pinky contacts the other side. And then we grab it with a fine touch. It takes some practice, like a kind of intermediate level technique. And you get it. Ooh, it can still fall out. So we got the coin, okay? So we clip it. And then we move forward, and so we're in like this position, so you can see a check, a status check, what it looks like. And then we heel clip it. Okay, that's why you notice this ooh kind of thing for me. Ooh, every time I do it, you'll see it like ooh, see that, see that? And then all you see in place is that coin, but under the heel, went around like palm, heel, whichever, is right around the coin. I tend to write it around right here, more towards the right side, like in between the palm and the heel. Dean Dill loved the heel, so you find your own preference, especially if you're sitting. That doing this up here might give me carpal. So anyways, we got that free, okay? So that's how the main source or the main start to the routine is being able to do a purse palm, get that, and do this, okay? Because we're going to be doing that a couple times throughout the routine, okay? So then we can be setting the coins over here. And I tend to give a theme that I have like OCD kind of. I like things a certain way. And so we can show that the coins are lined up on the side, maybe symmetrical, looks nice. Dean actually tried to make the coin look invisible. He would try to take one off. Ooh, can I make it look invisible? No. And then he would try to do that. In the original and the others, I just think it's kind of cool. And that's a cool thing you could play with. Should definitely check out his material. It's so great. And that's how I got this far. How I do in this case is I just purse palm the last coin. Okay, slowly ride it over the third coin. So again, we wouldn't make it obvious. We just casually clip it, come forward over, and there's our hand, and make sure it slides over perfectly onto the third coin. Okay, so purse palm, and we want to clip it and then cover it. And as we do, this hand has nothing. And you go watch this. Hands come over. Okay, as we made sure the coin is shelled, we can then do an elegant presentation. Maybe a boosh, maybe a left, maybe a however you want to go about it. Boo, whichever the case. Boom, boom, and one has gone across. Cool. Now, using the dominant hand, not the recessive hand, because we need to get across. This is our lax reasoning. We seemingly are very fair as we purse palm off a coin. We steal it back into the heel, okay? As we move the coins into position, like we're just reorganizing the coins. We really want to make it fair, okay? And you want to have them lined up like this, not too spaced apart, because you need to reshell them, depending on how you're going about it, but just a good suggestion, okay? So we've lined on up, and we've stolen out the coin, okay? Educational purposes flash. And we come on over. Same thing as before, and this is something to practice. This is where your practice comes in. Purse palm the coin, okay? Getting off onto the second coin, making sure it locks. You can maybe do a half-second check, maybe peek through your little window hole right here, need to be. Boom. And then once you make sure it's going, you can just lift up and show. Boom. Okay? And then so we do that, take it off, steal it, and then we reset up all the coins. And again, if you're worried about any kind of slight noises in this case, or if it's totally dead silent, then you could maybe do music to theme up the magic moment if you want. And there's clever other ideas you can do as well, but that's just a loose suggestion for that. Okay, so clip the purse palm coin, have it lay onto the other one, make sure it lines on up. Okay, maybe do a little wave. Right spot, ooh, right here, boosh, and then you show 3 coins, 1 coin has traveled across. Okay, you do not steal off of this hand. You have to use the opposite hand. That's something I had to burn into my brain so many times, so many times. Anyways, okay, and then so we've stolen it off. Coin is now going over here. Okay, watch it again. Purse palm goes right on top. Make sure it lands. Booyah, and if it doesn't land yet and you're worried, make sure you can tap with the heel right here to make sure it lands. Boo, you can delay it, bow, and then you can show, because it was right here in this point, here's learning moment. It was like, I'm about to do it, oh wait, I can push it, oh it landed, it's fully clipped, booyah, and then you get a clean display. So just being mindful there are ways out of it, which is kind of nice. From here, we now push the coins up, 1 shell right here, and 1 normal coin right here. So the positioning is on my dominant hand, coin right here. Oh, no, let me make sure it's lined up. Okay, coin here, they're normal, okay? They're normal ones. And on this side is both shell coins. Again, we're only going to be using 1 of the 2 shells in the front, is the one that we've been using all along. So we've got that. And we're going to be using the same gesture as before, but also to set up for this cool matrix where you can see coins jump every which way. We do that by stealing off, or we lift off the shell using the purse palm. We heel clip back the coin like before, okay? Set that coin in position. And think of it this way, this is the easy way to think of it for this part of the routine of Face Rush. The idea is that this coin with the shell does not move, it stays pretty much the same, okay? And so these are my ideas on my mentor's ritual routine. I was trying to learn something for the Magic Castle feature stars. He suggested this one. And so again, if anyone knows in the comments section who to credit this section to with my own gestures, let me know. So as we do this, we go for cover. This is my own little sequence. Cover, cover, And we're going to see coins going across, but I first want to create like a mystery, like with sequencing. It's all going to happen in a sequence. 1, 2, and we're just taking the coin, the secret coin along with us. It's always been there. Okay, 1, 2, after we've stolen this one off. This is, again, just a shell in case anyone's wondering. Okay, so from the beginning, steal it off there, and now we're going to do something cool. Cover, cover, and then at this point, I'm going to use my opposite hand to heel clip this coin. It's going to ride with me, and this coin is going to stay at the front position. So you steal off the shell from under the coin from underneath, and you place it back right here. So it's next to it. Ooh, so that's 2. And now you walk with this one. So boom. And now you're walking, and now they see 2, 1, 1 in their whole field of view, which makes everything copacetic. Okay. And then hand comes over the front coin. Okay. And then my other hand over here comes over here. Boom. And I give it a wave. And this hand can come across and like this, and you got 2 for 2. Okay. You can also do an additional wave as you do it. So it can look like this. Cover, cover, if you want, and then boom. You get the same phasing if you want, or you can just go into that. So boom, boom, and you can show 2 if you want. So it's really dependent upon how you want to do it, but I just tend to do it boom from here. Okay. Then I come up. This is how I actually do it. Come up, boom. Then I come back and I place the coin that I had in my palm here back, and I steal this one off. Okay, comes off, and so now it looks copacetic again. 1 goes back, boom, and then hands cover here. Nothing happens yet. The coin is still stolen here, but it just comes back, but doesn't let go. Then my hand goes across. This is the important part. The dominant hand goes all the way across, and I give it a little wave. And then I steal the coin off that was over here while leaving the coin over here. Over here. So boom. Okay. So going back, I'm going to go so far so we can catch up. Steal off the coin so you can just watch as we go along. There we go. Okay. So boom, boom, boom if you want. Boom. That's 2. And I do another little wave. 2 for 2. I now do an extra wave right here. Boom, little wave. Now it comes back. Boom. Nothing's happening. They're like waiting, waiting, waiting. Hand comes across. Give it a little wave if you want. And then your hand comes across with the stolen coin. They can see 3. And then your hand can casually come across as this hand comes across towards the front. And then just boom. And you can steal off this coin as all 4 coins make a trip. Boom! And everyone's like, wait, what? Then, as the usual Dean Dill gesture, you will locate the shell coin very casually. I find it. Sometimes I can't even tell the shell coins amongst the real ones. And then hands come together. And as they come together, my hand puts the shell on top of one of the coins as it takes it across. So you could fairly show 2 coins. Okay. Then we take the other 2 coins. We set it here. And then you're all copacetic. With the shell coins ending in 2nd and 4th position, just make sure you check. You can always, as you're setting them down, you can check if it's shelled or not. So that's always kind of cool. The one way I can tell. Well, it is shelled. Yeah, we're good. So 2nd and 4th, and then we're all good. And so you leave in a very clean ending, which is very, very nice, and helps to lead into the final phase of the coin explosion. But if you just want to do this phase, then this is a real winner, just using 1 shell. Again, you're like, well, why do I need a 2nd shell? This is, again, if you're only doing the full explosion. Otherwise, you only need 1. And then, again, the advantage is it's really cool. It's nice. It has a nice break or transitions from the Matrix to coins. It's like a chink chink, but it's all over the table, and then leading to the final one where they explode. But again, this is a cool thing on its own if you just want to maze someone. I love it. I hope you love it. This is Phase Rush with my own input, and again, credit to my original mentor who had shown me this, and that I had remembered all these years later. I thought I'd forgotten, but I was searching. Here's the whole motivation for it. I was searching for a phase where I can do a on the table chink-a-chink kind of thing with 2 shells in play. If I can use 2 shells, great. If I can't, can I make it still work in there so I can do another setup to load the other 2 shells and then we're all good. And this is what I ended up choosing through all the hundreds of versions that could be possibly used. This one has a really nice thing and makes people smile. Just goes, wait, what? And it's simple enough for the performer that less of the focus can be on the trick once you get it down. It takes a while, lots of practice, but once you get it down, it just becomes really easy and you can focus more, as I love to do, on the audience, which is oh so important. So, hope you enjoyed this, and then now we're going to jump into the final part, which is the explosion part of it. Ooh yeah!